Hello, welcome to Solving Watercolour. Now, there are probably as many ways to paint trees as there are artists, and I mostly paint landscapes, so I'm always fascinated at finding a new way to paint trees. So today we're going to have a look at this fun and simple way to do it. I like this particular method because the controlled chaos of the wet into wet technique echoes the controlled chaos of nature. So I'm going to create some controlled chaos here by spraying on some water from the spray bottle. I'm going to start by mixing some light greens right on the wet area of the paper. The calligraphy brush is a cheap natural haired brush and I love it for painting foliage. Let's add a little Prussian blue to that. I want the darker greens at the bottom because the light is coming from above and therefore the shadows will be underneath. The paper I'm using is Arches Rough and the colours on my palette are cerulean blue, New Gamboge, quinacridone gold, Prussian blue and ultramarine. Mixing these colours together in different proportions will create a great range of natural looking greens. Next I have my earth colours, burnt umber and burnt sienna, and finally I've got Payne's grey, which I never use by itself, but I can use to darken any of the other colours if I need to. So I'm just going to keep going now, expanding out on the shape of my treetop. I'm just going to make sure that I leave a few unpainted spots here and there, or sky holes as they're often called. I'm using the looseness of the brush hairs and also the texture of the paper to help add some random leaves around the edges. Now I'm going to add a bit of random splatter to create the effect of leaves. I'm going to mix in some Payne's grey now to really darken those greens. With trees I like to work from top to bottom, so next I'm going to put in these small branches with a mix of burnt sienna and burnt umber. Let's connect those branches to the main trunk. My greens are going to bleed into my browns, and that's good. I don't worry about separating your colours too much. In the real world, colours blend and light bounces and reflects and influences every other colour. If you're finding this tutorial helpful, why not like this video and subscribe to the channel. My website, solvingwatercolour.com, is linked in the description below, and I have a ton of free tutorials there, a free course, Learn How to Paint Watercolour in 7 Days, and if you want to go more in depth and learn a whole lot more about this beautiful art form, I have some paid courses too. So here's my tree more or less done. For the ground, I'm going to swap over to my rigger brush and take some of the green that I mixed before and lay the brush flat and just drag up with some short strokes to create the effect of grass around the base of the tree. Now I can just flick in a few random blades of grass here and there. And while it's still wet, I'm just dropping in some darker shadow tones to the branches and the base of that canopy of leaves. And now I'm just going to darken this side a bit more by dropping in some spots of Payne's Grey and letting them blend out. Let's dry the whole thing now. I think it needs some sky, and I could have added that in first, but I didn't, so I'm just going to wet around the tree and add some small patches of cerulean blue. And I'm going to call this one finished. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.